Okay, everyone. So today I thought I will spend little time addressing a segment or a conversation on language, so that some students who deal with condition like aphasia, they may get an example to relate to understand the topic better. So the question with which I will be interacting and you know, forwarding the conversation is by addressing this question: Why do babies speak "mama" first? Now, why do they, why do all the babies born on the planet mostly, you know, begin to speak words which resonate calling their mom, like mother, ma, mama, you know? So that, and such a beauty of human beings, right? The language that we have acquired, very different from other human beings, sorry, other species, which generate signals, sounds, but we have a well articulated language. And with that power of language we express love, we talk to each other from distances, we have accomplished so many things by the science and art of speaking. Now, getting to know like how this gets affected, like language disorders like aphasia, how that shows up. So for you to get some inroads into it, I want to use this example of how babies start speaking mama first. So when our brain is developing, our brain is getting itself equipped to be an adult brain so that it can perform actions in future. It can also declare some results and produce them. But the beginning of it happens with development of a small cyclical loop, almost like a round loop that develops first. And what this loop develops into you know is the first thing that gets solidified in the baby's brain. So the brain first develops the ability to listen, something called Wernicke's area. So when there is sound from the environment, the brain gets the ability to get to perceive that sound that reaches through the ear. Now that area is called as Wernicke's area, where the sound is getting comprehended, understood, perceived, and then through that, then there is this conduction fibers which take that electrical activity that is getting generated in Wernicke's area, the area that was hearing, comprehending. That electrical impulses are now transferred to another area which engages with putting the words out of your mouth, like verbal output. So an area which developed to perceive it called the Wernicke's area, and there is the conduction of that electrical activity, the fibers which are specialized to take that from that area to another area which will impact the verbal output. Now, without any modulation, if you just notice, what may happen is what was heard is what will be repeated. The electrical impulses, the way they generated the Wernicke's area, transferred to the conduction fibers, reaching the other area, which has the verbal output, and that has the name Broca's area. Now that area is now picking those electrical signals, and mostly what get generated out of that is a replica of what was heard. So now look into your life and see, like, when babies are there, who is taking care of them more? Mostly mothers in the current culture, current phenomenon, right? And what they'll be telling, say ma, say mama, like when they're trying to you know stimulate the baby to speak, they will be repeating words like taking their name, like taking their mama, ma, that kind of you know initial words, right? Initial sounds. So now baby hears that often. At one point it starts saying that. Okay, so what is the importance of it? Now this area is very crude. By evolution, this is the area that happens first. Something that heard, that perception of that sound, understanding of that sound, comprehending that electrical activity transferred to the motor area and that being spoken out is an evolutionary phenomenon, a crude phenomenon. It is like the basic foundation. Now, as intelligent human beings, what has happened? Now, as we grow, we develop association areas. Some of them moderating what you perceived. Like someone says, "Bring me apple." How can one person is like, very happy that this person asked me apple, and the other one is like, having the other, kind of a spectrum of emotion, saying like, "Why are you telling me all these things?" Right? Now that association area modulates the perception based on other, past memories and, other electrical signals which is reaching in that area and elsewhere, right? So this automatically, when something is spoken, the association area modulates that perception, and the association area which is dealing with the verbal output, that also modulates what comes out. Maybe the person is angry, but he will say okay, or the person is, very happy, but he, doesn't speak a word. He just runs to get the apple to, give to the person who's asking. Now when the brain gets damaged, when the adult brain gets damaged, in some conditions these association areas get damaged, and what is left with is only the area that is hearing and the area that speaks. So in some kind of aphasias, you will see that patient, we use a test called repetition, where you say, "What is your name?" The person will answer, "What is your name?" He will not say, no, Deepak, or whatever his name is. Why? Because there is no association area which is comprehending, like an adult brain, and there is no association area which is modulating the verbal output, such that even if sometimes understood, the word that comes out may not be, appropriate to the way the answer should be. Okay, so why the baby says mama? Because that is what is heard by that baby for a long time, with many people trying to say like say mama, all that. Also, maybe there's an extra addition of the love that mother brings to that baby. Definitely don't want to, diminish that. That extraordinary love that generated by mother, that also must be playing a role. But scientifically, as a doctor, I have to speak. This will be like most often commonly repeated word, and that's being spoken by the baby because it's just repeating it. Once it, grows, don't worry, it will stop calling you mama. It will start calling you, differently. Some things that you like, some things that you don't like. Okay, so that's for today. I hope this information will help you in understanding FASS better. See you again soon with, another tip and technique to learn